Life is a computer game and I want to like pick the most fun character, and I feel like Kandy Ken would be like the character I would choose. I think most people just overthink everything, especially their content. Everything has to be a specific way and they like slow themselves down. I rather try my whole life with Kandy Ken than just do some random thing that I don't really love.
You've been in Hollywood for what, 3 years now?
7.
7 years?
7 years.
Wow.
If 3 years, the last 3 years was all closed down, that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
No, I experienced LA when it was beautiful, you know, before COVID and before everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you first came here, had you already come to the Kandy Ken like in its pure form, or did that develop here in LA?
No, it actually developed in Berlin, and the funny thing is I was doing Kandy Ken, I tell this to everyone, for now in 2024 it's going to be 10 years of Kandy Ken, which means 7 years unsuccessful and then 3 years successful with TikTok.
So 7 years it was not going anywhere?
Well, not financially and not with the following. I was still Kandy Ken, but I didn't have the reach and the success. For me, it was always just being Kandy Ken is part of the success, because if I can be who I choose to be, I'm already winning. But I didn't win financially and I didn't win with the following, and that all changed once TikTok started. But before that, I was just grinding on Instagram with 100,000 followers, and that's it. You know, no YouTube, no TikTok, nothing, no Spotify, and it was rough. You know, I was like sharing the room here in LA. We had like rats in the kitchen, and I know a lot of people have it a lot worse, but for me, it was okay. I still have my glitter and my pink outfits, and I was just trying to make a name for myself.
Dang. What kept you through trying through all that time? Why did you keep doing it?
I don't know. I saw always these celebrities, and in every interview I ever watched, they always said that it took them forever. I remember, I think I saw like it's very rare that you have like a Justin Bieber that really gets picked up as a kid. I remember, I think I saw like the Ant Word. Do you know them? Mm-hmm. It's this South African rap couple, and they said in an interview that they've been doing music since 10 years and nobody knew them. And I've heard a lot of those success stories, and that always made me feel like it's always about the people that don't give up, and success is the person that doesn't give up and always stands back up. And I was always gonna be like, that's gonna be me. You know, I'm not gonna. I rather try my whole life with Kandy Ken than just do some random thing that I don't really love.
So what would people say to you during all of that time? Because what you're doing is not like, for example, if you have Arnold trying to be a bodybuilder, or someone trying to be a rapper, someone trying to be an actor. In this case, you're trying to become a personality by doing the most outrageous shit you can think of while wearing pink. What were your friends saying? Like the people around you, like, how was that?
I would say it was really rough in Austria when I was still there, because like when I created Kandy Ken, I was still like in Europe, and people there are really mean. They take photos of you on the streets, and they laugh at you, they make fun of you, they bully you. And it's crazy now when I look back at these shots of me running around in my hometown as Kandy Ken is really crazy. In LA, I feel really at home because people just let you do your thing here. Nobody really cares. So here I always felt very at home, and I felt like I can truly be Kandy Ken every day. And there was no like such thing as like how it was in Europe.
So what is the process for you on that time building that character? Because you're building a persona that then you are becoming that persona. But I feel like I know Ken as like just Ken.
Yeah.
And you're very much the opposite of the persona. You're very calm, respectful, very smart, very intelligent, very eloquent. How are you making the choices of like, okay, this persona is going to be this? Like, what are the elements that make Kandy Ken?
My tattoo documentary, Literary Ink, is streaming now on all platforms. If you love stories, documentaries, and especially if you love tattoos and Harry Potter, this movie is just for you. Check out Literary Ink, streaming now on all major platforms.
I think it was in Berlin when I just realized that like it's like you don't really you take yourself, I think most people take themselves way too important. They think they play like a huge role, and if they step out of line, their whole life is gonna change for the worse, or they are afraid of anything. Like to put on two different socks, like people freak out, you know, can't go to school like this. So for me, when I started Kandy Ken, it was all about breaking out of the norms and doing really the opposite of what you are expected to do as a straight man in society. So pink was obvious because it is like the considered like most female color or most feminine color. So I instantly got really attracted by pink because now I'm like, I want to be that guy that like can pull that off. Kind of like, so I chose pink, and I chose like the most like feminine things I could find, which is easy, like Hello Kitty. Everything that is like very feminine was really fun to play with visually, because it is because I'm a straight guy. So for me it was just really fun to put all these things on, and so like the whole character just slowly developed with going the opposite from gender norms or from society norms.
But you still like women, you're still straight, like you don't like to dress up as a woman, you just like to dress up as Kandy Ken, I guess, because you're your own category of as you're dressing up.
For sure. No, it has, I feel like my clothes have nothing to do with my sexual orientation. And I feel like it's just, you know, when you play like a computer game, I feel like I want to play, like life is a computer game, and I want to like pick the most fun character, and I feel like Kandy Ken would be like the character I would choose. And so every day I pick him. But like how you mentioned before we started, like sometimes I like to wear like a suit and be all fancy. Sometimes I pick that character, but most 99% of my life I choose Kandy Ken because he's like the most fun. And like yeah, it has nothing to do with dressing like a girl. It's more about like I love like oversaturated things and like flowers and like crazy Baroque Versace themes. Like sometimes it just goes into like what I love, and I like to like put that stuff on me, kind of.
So how did that work with the ladies? Like when you came here to LA?
Well, first when I started, I thought maybe I never get a girlfriend again.
Yeah,
because in Europe the girls are crazy. They don't like that shit. And I normally always used to have like painted nails, and it would be crazy. But it works very well. I think people are fed up by like you stand out instantly, and then you also get like a woman that is really open-minded about that shit. And my wife was very attracted by me being really different, and like the whole different approach to like how everybody else is in LA. So it really worked well for me.
How did you guys meet, and how was that interaction? Because like Baby J, like she's a Latina chick. I would have never thought that you would be with a Latina chick. Because like usually like
same. I always tell that people like she's not really like my vibe, my type.
What's your type?
My type is like blonde, very skinny, tall, like a Barbie kind of type.
But she's like a different type of new Barbie.
She's a different kind of Barbie, and that is like why it worked, because the normal Barbie, I always got bored, and all my exes, they all look the same. If you like put them next to each other, they're all blonde, very tall, very skinny, like model kind of type. And with a Latina, she really spiced it up, and like she's just so entertaining. She really makes my life like a movie. You know, and I always wanted my life to be like a movie. Like the bad parts have to be very dramatic, and the good parts have to be also very good. Like I need it to be like a roller coaster, always like up and down, and not this like bland. Every day's the same. That's like my worst nightmare. You know, like somebody who does everything I say and like agrees on everything, and like she's like agrees on nothing, and like you know how Latinos are, and that's so great. I love that.
So let's set up the scene for this Kandy Ken and Baby J movie. How did you guys meet?
Oh, we were at this pink house in Bel Air, and we just ran into each other. And she was interning there, and I was like helping them with TikToks, this company. And we ran into each other, and it was love at first sight. I was very curious, and she was too. And then we hanged out every day after that. Yeah.
That's awesome. When I met you guys, I came with Devon Franklin. I came to meet up with him we were having a meeting for a show that we're developing, and he was with you guys shooting. And I remember it was at the Hollywood Boulevard, and I go to see Devon, and then you guys were running around. You did like, in the 10 minutes that I was there, you did like maybe 5 different TikToks, literally like in 10 minutes. You guys were running around and jumping, and you were doing this with Baby J. And there was another guy there, another young guy that was also a TikToker. And I think at that time, you guys had a very small account.
Yeah.
Like when I met you, you were like...
Devon was bigger.
Yes, he had like 1 million followers, and I
Yeah.
think you guys were like at 100K.
Yeah.
But when I saw you, the way that you were working, I was very attracted to that work ethic. And it was really interesting to see how quick you were conceptualizing TikTok ideas on the fly. So tell me a little bit about that. What do you think is like the secret sauce of your TikTok success?
I think most people just overthink everything, especially their content. Everything has to be a specific way, and they like slow themselves down like crazy instead of just, I don't know. For me, the gym is always the best example, because it's not about trying to figure out like the best way, to do the bicep curl. Like if I just do it like with this special way, no, like it's just, you gotta go and do it and grind every day, and you can do it with a rock somewhere in prison if you have to. It's not about the best gym or the best equipment. People get like so caught up in like details, and then every time we collab with somebody, they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, it doesn't follow the storyline. And every mistake I always saw as something epic, because people are just gonna comment if things don't completely play out, especially in a TikTok. We're not shooting a freaking movie here, right? You're overthinking it way too much what you're doing, and you need to just grind. And me and Baby J, we were always just grinding, and a lot of the TikToks don't make sense for most people, but that's exactly what it's about. And I just, as soon as I saw TikTok back then, that was like in 2019 or something, I knew it was hot. It was so hot, and nobody knew. And I knew if I put in the work now, it will pay out. It has to pay out later, because it's not controlled by crazy algorithms. It's not controlled by big influencers. No celebrities are on this app. I can make myself a name on this, and I did, and it just worked out. And like you said, we were shooting, that was also before we had a baby, we were shooting 20 to 30 TikToks like in an hour. And we were doing that every day nonstop. And
were you posting them? You were shooting and posting, or were you like saving them, scheduling? Were you doing like any...
Well, we never shoot in apps, so we would always shoot, and then all night we would just edit and post in the morning and just grind on that. So
were you posting like, if you shot 20 today, would you save them and schedule them, or were you just like...
save and schedule, for sure. But also like you always have to adjust. The uploading always constantly changes on the algorithm. So I used to be able to post like 3 TikToks per day. Both of our accounts have like over 2,000 TikToks at this point. I have like 3,000 TikToks saved that are all going to YouTube now. And back then we would post 3 a day, and then it slowed down to 1 a day. And now it's more like every other day, because it's so oversaturated that you cannot... They won't allow, even if it's a good video and it's performing good, they won't allow so many videos on the For You page from one account. So you have to be smart how you distribute it.
Gotcha. So you almost have to slow down the pace so you don't get like shadow ban or something?
No, it's just that they won't push it and show it to as many people as if you do it in like a 24-hour period kind of. Or now, in a 48-hour period.
Now, what about YouTube Shorts? Because now that's a
Oh,
new
on YouTube,
game.
yeah, on YouTube right now they have it's more viewers and not enough content, so you can post definitely 3 videos a day. This is like YouTube is now how TikTok used to be, but TikTok is now so overly, everybody posts so much that they can only show that, there's only that many eyes, and people are not scrolling like fast enough, so there's only a certain amount of numbers people can hit per day, and on YouTube it's different.
So let's talk about YouTube, because that's my favorite platform. And I remember we started working together. When we reconnected again and we did our first project together, it was one of your music videos. And then we started doing some videos in your vlog and all of that. And we had to kind of stop because it was like very difficult. We had to do so much content. It cost so much money. And then one day out of the blue, you text me, yo, Axel, I've finally figured it out. Boom. And you had gotten like 1 million subs in like a crazy time. Tell me about how did that feel?
Oh, it was, I mean, we've been grinding so much and we were stuck at like 500,000 before, and now we're like almost at 3. It was crazy. It's just with the shorts, with YouTube shorts, we finally could reach a bigger audience and really grow in a shorter time, which was really, it was crazy. It's still crazy.
So what was your strategy there, if any? Just post and blast as much as possible?
Well, we were just waiting for the right moment when YouTube or when people, first they had like a huge problem because the main videos would like crush it a little bit with the shorts, and they didn't separate it like correctly. So every YouTuber started to do a normal page and a short page. And I did that for a while, which worked kind of good, but not really. And then YouTube finally figured it out how to integrate short videos.
Yeah, but they separated the back end. What they did is it was the same page, but now they were serving the shorts on the shorts feed.
Yeah.
And then the regular videos on the regular browse feed.
Exactly. And once they did that, I could finally blast and just like release
without hurting your main videos.
Yeah. And without like annoying everyone, because before when you like post 3 shorts, people would like unsubscribe kind of almost. You would like lose subscribers. I was losing subscribers every month, and then once they changed that, I was getting a lot of new people.
Awesome. And with the content that you're doing, you're trying to do the family vlog, and then you're doing all the crazy pranks and all that. What is all about? What is that all about, man? Why can't you just make regular videos, like regular vlogs? Everything has to be up to the 10, crazy.
Well, we always like to do what is like fun to us as well, because otherwise I feel like as a creator you like burn out if you like do what your audience wants or do what like works the best. I always like to keep the content like what is like entertaining to us, and the crazy videos was always just much more fun to shoot than like the normal vlogging and cooking and all that. So
what's your favorite craziest video that you have ever made?
Well, one of my, I mean, there's a couple really, one of my favorite one is where baby J is a Christmas elf and I'm like Santa Claus, and I break into the house and she doesn't like know it's me. And she does like this crazy voice. She used to like do these crazy voices, and it's one of my favorites, all-time favorites. Yeah, didn't even perform like just like 3 or 4 million on TikTok, but
yeah,
for me,
it's just 3 million views. Nothing too big.
Yeah, no, yeah, I love that one. But then of course when she peed in the hot tub, that one is one of the all-time favorites. You can like repost that at all times and it always performs. It's
Did
crazy.
she pee for real?
No, I just colored the water yellow. Yeah.
So now that you have the baby, how much has your life changed completely? And how was like that process? Because I remember you did a lot of videos, and some of your best performing videos on the vlog was when you were like going to the hospital with baby J and you were doing the whole like labor thing. Tell me about that experience.
How it changed it, or the experience of the
experience of having the pregnancy and the baby, and now you're becoming a dad.
Yeah.
But then you're putting on a pink cowboy hat. Like, how do you as a person manage those two things like on your day to day?
I feel like for my son, it's so cool. Like I always imagine like how it would be to have like a baby J as your mom and Kandy Ken as your dad. I mean, I feel like it's crazy. It's so cool for him because we're just so colorful and everything is so like loud and crazy. And I would say in the beginning it was definitely very difficult because you feel like now you're getting like forced into this like parent role and you have to act a certain way and be very different. And you have to like, you go through a whole personality change if you want it or not. And then you kind of have to like re-evaluate and like re-find yourself kind of like again, which is a beautiful thing. I always like tell people you gotta like kind of like let go from the person that you think you are and like give yourself a chance to be who you are, because like I actually have like no idea who I am. I always tell people I have no idea. I try to be aware and very open-minded and like try different things out and like really see like if I dress this way, how do I feel? If I do this, how do I feel? And as a dad, I had to kind of like really find myself again, which is a really cool thing.
That's
awesome. I love it.
That's awesome. So tell me about the marriage side of things, because you guys were super young, you're in LA, you're trying to become superstars, and then you get married. Like, which is, to many people, that's the opposite of what you should do if you're out here in Hollywood trying to make it as a big star. How was that experience, and how do you feel like about being married and being a husband and all that?
I feel like you need like a lot of times, I feel like if you have a partner in crime, things are just much easier than to do it on your own. And you need like, if you find somebody who doesn't put you down but like elevates you, she makes me always like kind of like feel unstoppable, where I know she will tell me like if it sucks, she'll tell me like it sucks. And with my friends that I used to have, there's always a little bit of bias where they might hype something up, you know, and you have like a lot of yes men around you, and it's very difficult. I feel like a lot of like celebrities and stars still have this problem where there's always people around them that won't criticize them enough. And with a partner, I think there's such a bond, and especially when you're married, that you can really give each other that kind of, especially with a Latina, I feel like you really get put like a mirror in front of your face where you can really be like, okay, I do agree or I disagree, or I have to take that criticism and it gets me really angry, but at the end of the day I'm like, you know what, you're actually right. And I never saw myself being married ever. I never wanted to get married, but you know, when the right person comes around, you really change your mind really quick, and she did change my mind fast. And no, I would marry her any day. And I feel like it's also really good that you need a little bit of dependency. There's like a fine line between being too dependent but also being too independent kills the relationship. I feel like if you are both like rich and you both do your own thing, it's very easy to be like, I don't want to deal with this right now. And that's why I feel like a lot of celebrities don't have luck and get like always separate, because they're like, you know what, I have my own house, my own life, we don't have to deal with each other. And then I feel like if it's so cool that we like work together and have a child together, because now we have to figure it out. Even if things get tough, there's no like, I'm gonna block you and like get out of my life. Like there's like, you have to kind of make it work. And there's been times where without our baby, maybe we would have like separated, you know, maybe not, probably not, because I feel like she really believes in us. She believed in us like from the beginning on, where I was like still like thinking, no, I'm gonna be the bachelor in LA, and you know, like how you said, not do the whole marriage and everything. But in the end, I feel like you can be more powerful if you have like a good, like a backbone, or like somebody who holds you down and gives you that drive.
Yeah. So how do you handle the side of celebrity of like, your wife is out there making her own videos, her own content, shooting super sexy pictures all the time, having guys hitting on her all the time. Like, how do you handle that part?
I don't know. We really trust each other and we're like super loyal. And even if like, I don't know. She really respects me and doesn't like flirt around with guys. And when she does, I'm in no place where I can be like, you need to like cover yourself up, or I want that for her. I want her to feel sexy, especially now that she's a mom. I think it's even more important to support her because she went through a crazy body change and I didn't do anything. And it's a lot of sacrifices that a woman takes for getting pregnant, and I cannot imagine the hormones and everything that goes through it. It's crazy. And especially now that I like to work out every day and keep very clean diet and everything, she had to like, you're forced to like lay and sleep and rest, and but you get the beautiful part of giving birth and being so connected with your child. So it has both ways, but for me it's really important that she feels sexy and that she can be hot in a bikini. And I think we just have a very good lot of communication and like a very loyal trust thing where I don't have to be super jealous, but also not super controlling, but also she would not take advantage of that.
Yeah. Now, how do you handle the fact that you're a celebrity and like you have a bunch of women around you in Hollywood and all the things that you know, like the life that we live here and events and this and that? How do you handle that? And what's your advice for other guys that are getting into a position where they're about to be more wealthy, well-known, have clout, celebrity status, and now it's like you could have any woman that you wanted to, basically. How do you handle that?
I feel like when you become a parent, you lose a little bit of interest in the whole Hollywood craziness. Before when I look at like things, I would always be like having FOMO and like feeling like I'm missing out on something. When you have, I can only advise to make a baby if you love the person, because then you lose interest and you rather spend your Saturday morning with your family than to party or go out. So I don't really have this like need anymore. Like, but then also like every time I went to the club or every time I partied, I always felt like I'm not in the right place. I always felt like I was wasting my time. I have this crazy thing that I used to perform, which I really liked when I'm on stage. But then when I'm in the crowd or I'm in some sort of club, like I never felt like this is it. Like it feels really empty to me. It feels like you're wasting your fucking time, even without a baby. It feels empty. And I feel like all the people are very empty and are looking for like love. And I feel like family is the answer. And you'll see like, I don't feel this Hollywood pressure at all. Like, not really.
I feel the same way, man. Like to me, the only way that it feels fun when I go out is like if I go out with my girlfriend and it's just us having a good time, or with my brother and just being there, enjoying that we either accomplished something or finished a project or like got a new like project starting. Otherwise, it does feel very much like a fucking waste of time. And especially like for me, I don't drink. I don't drink any alcohol.
Then it's even worse.
Yeah, then like there's so many things that if you're sober, it's boring as fuck. Like it doesn't matter like the hottest club. Like I've been to any like fancy place that you can only get VIP. Like I got friends that get me in, and then when I'm there, it's like this is like whatever. Like it doesn't bring any like now spending time with the people that I love. It could be like at that fancy club, or it could be just like driving out to get ice cream and just like hanging out, and that feels as wonderful as the other fancy thing. And I think that's something that I'm really excited to see you and Baby J with Rodeo like growing as a family and being like almost role models in a way that is completely different to what everyone has thought about before. And I think you guys probably are gonna get misinterpreted a lot of times because of what you see on social media. But then when I have gotten to work with you guys, or like the times when we're texting and talking about anything related with work, it's all about like actually making content, making things that people are gonna like, and just having fun with the people that you love, which is something that I hope people can see that in Hollywood we still have that. Just because like you're dressing up this certain way, or we're shooting crazy videos with a car doing like fast turns and whatever, that doesn't mean that we're dumb or stupid or like we're not good family people. It just means we're cool. Like we're creative and we want to do cool stuff. So tell me about the acting side and what do you want to do there? Because I'm really trying to get you on to be on some kind of movie. Like every fucking script that I have, I'm like, how could I get Kandy Ken to play like this one role? Yeah. And I've been trying with like 2 or 3 projects to see if I can squeeze you in, because I think you're super interesting. What's your take on that, the whole acting thing?
Well, first I wanted to say I love what you said about, like, I love even to falsely, that's why I like also dress up like this, is because I'm not even gonna try to dress who I am, because I feel like it is almost impossible online to showcase who you really are until you meet somebody in person. It is just so easily misunderstood that I'd rather go the other route and really try to trick you into thinking I am a certain way, which I'm completely not. Like I love like to play like the rich asshole online, because it's just so fun to me. It's really fun to like be snobby, and like I love those kind of characters, and instead of like trying to like tell everybody that like I'm so great and like I'm so kind, I'm the Kandy Ken, you know, I'm gonna make everyone happy and like make everybody laugh. Like I'd rather just be the asshole, and then if you look deeper into my character, you can be like, oh, you know what? Like he's actually not what I thought. And like I love when people say that, because it's just I don't even want to try to get the right impression online. I feel like it's ridiculous, because it's all so superficial and so like chosen of what moments you show, right? From Photoshop to the angle to the caption to like showing only your good moments instead of your bad moments, right? And then like it is so not reality that like I'd rather go completely the other route
and just create your own new character, new reality, new everything.
Yeah, like fuck with people a little bit, you know, like show them, like, I don't know, like confuse them. I like to like be very confusing, and so I like to not be that people can't put me in a box. Or when you said like you don't even know what title you're gonna give the interview or what route you should go, I love that. Like that's what it's about. I'm way too complex to just be like, oh, it's Kandy Ken, he's a clown and he does TikToks, and like that's it, you know.
So if you had to get the thumbnail and headline for this video, what would it be?
Oh, maybe like I don't know, like maybe the Kandy Ken that you haven't met yet, or maybe the dark side of Kandy Ken, or
the dark side of Kandy Ken.
I don't know, so something like, or like the honest side. Or I feel like every time I do long, that's why I also started my podcast, is when you have a long form, everything changes. And when I do 7-second videos, I try to be as intense and aggressive as possible, because I only have 7 seconds, so I can't be calm and I can't be intelligent. I have to be get your attention somehow. So if I only have 7 seconds, I'm going to be very different than 2 hours.
Yeah. So have you found people that try to pinpoint you as like an ignorant, stupid asshole? And then have you been able to, like, have you done any interview where that's what they wanted to do and like put you in a bad light?
Well, in Austria at least, the people always used to think like I'm on drugs and I'm gay, but everything changed now that I have a kid and a family. So people don't really say that anymore. Now I guess it's more like, I don't know. Since I've been in LA, I mostly surround myself by people that really love and support what I do, and I don't really interact too much anymore with like somebody who, because you don't really use like public transportation, and like you're in a bubble in LA, and it's very different than when you're in New York or in Austria, where you always run into people that have never seen you before and are like, oh my God, like what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I love LA so much, because you can just be like with people that support you.
So tell me about your fans, because you guys, every now and then you go to random places and you tell people, oh, I'm going to be here. Like, who are the fans of Kandy Ken?
Well, I feel like it's every kid or every person from like, I don't know, 10 years old to 25 years old, or at least everybody that's on TikTok. And it's like so cool to meet people because the numbers are just, after a certain time, even if you have 10 million followers, it like, I always remember the first 100K was way more fun when I met you than the 10 million, because you're just so over it, and like it's so fun to meet them in person, because even if it's 10 people or 20 people,
it feels like a
intense
lot.
and it feels real. And like when they're like Kandy Ken on Rodeo Drive, like that like really makes my day much more than when I get a million likes. Like that means nothing. Yeah.
How do you feel about all these people buying fake followers? Did you and question, did you ever had the chance to like buy fake followers, or did something with that to like try to boost the numbers?
Well, there's many ways you can like pay for like TikToks to be more promoted, and you can like pay even on YouTube. And back in the day when I only had 100,000 on Instagram, I was really trying to do anything to get more followers. And I tried a couple of things, but then I found out really quick that it's even worse for your account when you start that, because now you even lose like your real followers a little bit organically once you start paying for fake followers. So the cool thing is, I don't know if people do it on TikTok, but on TikTok everything is 100% organic, which is really cool. And there's a lot of bots, but I've never bought any bots, but I guess they're just all over TikTok. In the end, social media is like a game, and like there's always going to be people that cheat, and I feel like some people are smart about it, some people are not smart about it, but in the end I feel like you can really tell when you go out on the streets and people recognize you or don't. And like there's a lot of people I know who have millions of followers who don't get recognized at all, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, everybody gotta do what they gotta do.
What do you think is going to happen now in the next like 3 to 5 years with all the platforms? Like everything is kind of stagnated. I'm not seeing any growth on Instagram. TikTok, I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, but I don't know if people are growing anymore. And from what you were saying, it doesn't feel like it's the place to like put in all your content. What's going to happen with this whole social media thing?
Well, I feel like it like right now it's like splitting. I feel like there is because people are always like, oh my God, like if the attention span is now 7 seconds, it's gonna be 3 seconds in like 10 years or something, right? So I feel like now podcasts are huge because it's information. I've learned more from Joe Rogan than I did in my whole school career. Bro, in school, nothing. I've not learned like a single thing that I can use now. It's completely bullshit. I hate the school system. I hate everything my teachers taught me. It was a complete waste of time. And since I've had a baby, I started to listen to Joe Rogan all the time because we would feed him or he would sleep. There's so much time where you can't really watch a movie or be loud or do anything. So I always have one AirPod in, always listening to Joe Rogan. And I would always see all these like scientists talk about crazy things like I've never heard before. And that really opened my eyes, and I feel like there's this big need for information right now. So I feel like this is a really beautiful thing because people always talk bad about like social media and it's destroying everyone and it's addictive and blah blah blah. And they said the same thing when books came out. They said it's the devil. Don't read books. It's only bad for you. You should go out in nature. And then they said the same thing about music. They say don't listen to music. It's the devil's thing in your ear. And people always just trying to talk shit about new things. And I always love new things. So I feel like with social media, who knows? Maybe there's going to be another app. But I feel like we're going away from the Instagram flexing and all the fakeness, and we're more interested in either funny content on TikTok that makes you laugh or is a little bit educational, or the super educational content, which is podcasts, or getting to know people like on a very personal level. So there's this big need, especially by the new generation, for information. And I think it's going in a really good direction because people don't call me gay and people love Kandy Ken. And I've never experienced that when I started it 10 years ago because it was like completely no, like people were like, no, I cannot be a fan of Kandy Ken and I cannot find this cool. And the new generations, they celebrate it on Rodeo Drive. They scream my name. I just posted it like 2 days ago on TikTok. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So what do you think? Damn, I had like the perfect question to ask you, and then got it. What do you think is something that people don't really know about you that is more you than what they see? Like, what is that secret thing of Ken that they haven't been able to like see yet?
I think it's the discipline and like, of course, it's the kindness, and then maybe I am not like the dumb rich idiot, but I don't think people see like the work that goes into my mental health and my discipline. I feel like I wake up, I cold plunge every morning, I go to the gym every day, I eat very specific, and everything is like dialed in. And the TikToks is like an hour per day or 2 hours per day, and it's a big part of my life, but it's the only part everybody sees. And I'm trying to show more of the discipline part, but I feel like a lot of people, I think like I always work like in the dark when nobody is watching, and like I'm working out, or I'm uploading on every platform, or trying to figure out how these social media platforms work. Nobody sees me on the computer. I've never posted myself like editing, and I edit every single video. That's a good example.
Yeah,
I edit every single YouTube video besides the couples that we did together, and every TikTok I've ever posted, and I post on every account. I post for Baby J, I post for the family account, I post for my account. She doesn't even post, only her IG photos. And even those, I edit a lot of them. And she asks me for the captions, and I try to control all social media accounts, and I upload every single day, and then I also work out every day, and I really try. And then as soon as all that ends, I try to really dial into the family life and completely separate myself from social media. And really, I'm in the park with my boy, and we're just like, he's going down the slide, and it's a precious moment, and I separate that, and it's beautiful. And I think a lot of people don't see that part, and I really think that a lot of people don't take their health serious, and they only want to get rich and only want to get the Lambo, and they forget about the family and the truth and the real meaning of life, because they're so obsessed with numbers and clout and that luxury life.
So Ken, if you could do anything in life and time was not an issue and money was not an issue, what would you do?
If I could do anything, I think I would. I wish I was smart enough, but I would wanna help Elon go to Mars. I think if there's anything more interesting, is that we have, as a human race, we have to be like multi-planetary, and I think that's the only way to survive, because as things are going, nobody knows what's gonna happen, like with atomic bombs and the climate, and I mean it would be just super smart to be on another planet, so we can exist for much longer. So I feel like it's crazy that it seems like he's the only one who goes that direction, and I would just love to meet him and to help him, or to work with him towards that goal, or to go there. If I could do anything, I would definitely be one of the first people to go to Mars.
Well, Elon, if you're watching, Kandy Ken wants to get on the rocket and get to Mars. So thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. I think it's really interesting to see those sides of you that people don't get to know, that I've been lucky enough to like get to see that, and I have mad respect for you and all the work that you put in, and I'm so happy for you and your family. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. We'll have you on the Kandy Ken show next.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this episode, check out this other episode over here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. I'll see you in the next one.